In this tutorial, I'm going to distinguish between empirical and molecular formula. Empirical has the simplest ratio of atoms within a compound. I'm going to give you some example of molecular formula and then simplify it. For example, C6H12O6, your simple sugar glucose. If these numbers are divisible by 6, you get 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. This is the empirical formula, the simplest whole numbers of elements or atoms within the molecule. Another related molecule is ethanoic acid, CH3COOH. In this example, then again you have 2 carbons, 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. They are divisible by 2 and you get CH2O again. It's possible that you might have one empirical formula and variation of molecules. You have ethanoic acid and glucose. Sometimes you cannot simplify it. In a case of N2H3, which is a molecular formula, you get N2H3 as empirical formula. Do not produce N1H1.5 because we are looking for whole numbers of subscripts. So whole number of atoms, and simplest of those within a molecule is the empirical formula. Now let's solve one empirical formula question. By the way, empirical always comes from experimental data. In this question, you have zinc, you have carbon, and you have oxygen. They give you masses in grams, and they are challenging you to come up with a formula. You have 1.3 grams of zinc. You have 0.24 grams of carbon. You also have 0.96 grams of oxygen. You can use your calculators. This is a typical paper 2 questions. Next thing, what you need to do is convert them into moles. And you should remember moles is simply mass divided by molar mass. Small letter N stands for moles in chemistry. Small letter m is for mass in grams. And capital M is molar mass. And since I didn't put subscript of R, it's not relative. It has units of grams per mole. I'm going to go to periodic table and borrow atomic masses. Zinc is 65.4 grams per mole. I'm only using 3 significant figures. Carbon is 12.0 grams per mole. Oxygen is 16 grams per mole. When you do the divisions, you come up with 0.02 moles of zinc, 0.02 moles of carbon, and 0.06 moles of oxygen. Now, there are a number of ways you can convert them into whole numbers. One way is divide all of them by the smallest number that you see. In this case, 0.02 is the smallest of all numbers, so 0.02 divided by 0.02, and 0.06 divided by 0.02. When you do that, you will get 1 zinc, you will get 1 carbon, and you will get 3 oxygen. So the formula, the empirical formula, is zinc CO3, which is zinc carbonate. Now let's look at another question as a final question for this tutorial. A typical question is work out the molecular formula this time of a compound that has empirical formula of carbon and hydrogen and a molar mass of 78 grams per mole. So we are looking for a ratio. I want to see how many times of carbon and hydrogen I have. So I'm looking for a ratio to multiply it with. Now the ratio is molar mass, which is given to you 78 in this case, divided by empirical mass. So I have 78 grams per mole divided by, now what is empirical mass? My empirical formula has 1 carbon, 1 hydrogen. So you have 12.01 plus 1.01. Let's just keep 2 significant figures. So you have 12 grams and 1 gram. So this is 13 grams per mole. When you do this, the ratio becomes 6. 6 times 13 is 78. Therefore, your molecular formula is CH multiplied by 6 as their subscripts, C6H6, which later on you will find out this is benzene. The structure usually looks like this. Good luck until next time.